Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. I appreciate the support either way. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today is August 1st, 2024. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a quick technical analysis breakdown on Bitcoin, and I'll end it with XRP. A couple of things are playing out. Obviously, you can see the screen in front of you. So this is not financial advice. This is a window to my thought process. I've been doing technical analysis for 17 years. I've been investing in crypto for hypothetically almost 9-10 years now. I've experienced and witnessed multiple cycles, and I understand how this thing works. So, charts don't lie. That's number one, right? And long-term trends predict short-term outcomes, right? And I said a key thing in the last video that I hope a lot of you understood, right? There's a lot, I say a lot, but there are certain rules that you have to abide by, right? Because they just happen over and over and over, right? Long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. If you're looking at a daily chart, 2-day chart, 3-day chart, and you're expecting something bullish, you need to back that up with the weekly and the 2-week chart, right? And I said I did not like that the RSI is making this pattern here of lower highs and lower lows, and this last high here, got rejected by the moving average. Now we're still in section A, right? We're still above the 50 line, but now we need to see what happens, right? Because there's always options. We want to see if we come back down and retest this 46 to 50 level and stay above and form somewhat of a bottom and have a trend reversal back to the upside, or do we stay with the trend, meaning lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and the lower low takes us into section B, and nothing positive ever usually comes from that, and that means we have more blood to the downside, right? So if we stay in section A, we have a continuation to the upside. If we go into section B, we have a trend reversal and then a continuation to the downside. It's not my opinion. Just check this price action and then just check this price action. I'll show you in a second. Sorry, my OCD is taking over. So, real simply, you can see when the RSI is in section A, we go from 9,000 to 70,000. When we're in section B or approaching it, we go from 47,000 to 37,000, right? We go back into section A when we're doing something like this right here, just go above. Well, we break resistance of the 40,000 and go from 40 to 54, higher low to 41, higher high to 70,000. Once again, section A. We break down, go into section B. Well, you can see here we break this most recent top at the 52, and we go from 53 all the way to 33. Now, the most important thing, we were in section B here, right? We came up to the 50, little fake out, came back down to 30. What happens thereafter? Well, you have recovery, dead cat bounces, but then this high is broken, this low is broken, and you make another lower low, then another lower high, and then another lower low, and then another lower high, and lower low, and lower high, and lower low, right? Until you go back into section A and start seeing bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, etc., etc. So with that knowledge, right, you could go back 12 years, right? Section B, we go back from 8,000 to 4,600. Section A, oh, look at this recovery. We go 83, higher lows, higher highs. Let's go to, I don't know, 2018, right? We had corrections, but in section A, so the corrections led to consolidations, best dollar cost averaging opportunities you could have during 2016 all the way to 17, 18, right? Once we hit section B, right here, right? We broke, here's the thin ice. I would try and explain to you when you break, use the 70 as resistance. This shows me you have room to bleed. Then you want to see market structure. Well, we continued making lower highs and lower lows. Then we started using the 50 as resistance. This right here is when I say nothing positive comes from when your long-term RSI is in section B, right? So if we go to that point again right here, let me zoom in, you can see rejection, rejection. We went from 8,500 to 5,800 to 7,800. It was just like lower, slow bleeding. And then eventually we broke and went from the 45 down to the 30. And once again, did anything positive come from 6,100 down to 3,000? No. That's the best thing that could have happened if you had capital on the side. And the only time you usually have a large amount of capital on the side is if you take profit on the way up and you trust the same indicator that I just told you that was extremely oversold. You take profit when it's extremely overbought, right? Section A, section B. Well, when it's above and you're in section A plus and you're in these zones here, that's when you should be automatically taking the emotions out of the equation and saying, it's probably a good time to buy, you know what I'm saying? And I talked to a couple people that do technical analysis as well, and we all say the same thing, right? Because we've been burned multiple times in the past. And after how many times have you getting burned or hit or abused or making fun of, do you eventually say, enough's enough, right? That's it. I'm trusting the charts. I'm saying F the news. Trusting the charts was once again hidden bearish divergence right here of having 1, 2, here's the break in the ice, right? When I say we break and then use it as resistance, we had room to bleed. We went from 70,000 to 53. Now we're making that lower high and got rejected. We went from 67 to 63. These are things that anyone can notice, but you have to start with the longer time frame first because the section A, section B thing doesn't apply on a 10-minute chart. It applies on the longer time frames. Also, that section A, section B on the weekly applies to Bitcoin. You need to figure out whatever chart you're looking at, the trend, whether it's the weekly, the 2-week, the 5-day, the 3-day, the 3-week, the monthly. There's different trends all over the place. I identified this on Bitcoin for the weekly. So now we're here, and the best thing possible is blood, right? But blood back to, like I said, this level here of 61,000 to 60,000. And we form an inverse head and shoulders. 1, 2, 3, something like that. Now, in order to prove that theory true and have a high probability, you need to look at the chart and the indicators long term to see if it lines up with a bullish scenario. It technically doesn't. It doesn't, okay? Because once again, I've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. And I've seen this chart play out for a very, very, very long time. And when there's only 1, 2, 3 waves, excuse me, and there's only 1, 2, 3 death crosses, right? 4 death crosses. You say after that second time and third time, oh man, I'm opening up a short, bro. I don't care what's happening with the news. I don't care what Harris and Trump are saying and what they're planning on doing when they're in the office and this and that and what's going on. It's time to take profit. It's time to maybe, not financial advice, possibly open up some shorts with very, very minimal margin. Excuse me. Margin meaning enough that anything is above 72 to 73,000. It's like a 2-3x, right? Something like that. And that allows you to maximize your profits, right? So let's go back to the technical analysis. This doesn't look great, right? If I don't look at the ticker, I have my hand on the left upper side of the screen, and I don't see that it says Bitcoin. If I was to analyze this chart, I would 100% look at this and say, we have the sentinel alert right here at the 62.93 because, once again, nothing positive has happened when we've broken the moving average and had room to bleed. Once again, I want you to notice something right here. It's clear as day here. You had the break of the moving average and the break, that's the thin ice right there, the thin ice theory. It's like, it's on thin ice, cuzzy. It needs to come back up into section A to have a continuation to the upside like this, right? When you see something like this and you continue down into section A down to the 50, you're going to have blood, nothing crazy, but a lot of blood. When you're in section B, it's go time. It's time to sell the house to buy Bitcoin. So as of right now, you can see we're making lower highs, lower lows. We're about to break the moving average, and then once we do, I want to see where the next support system is. Next support system is once again the 50, like you see here, right? right around there. That means that that theory of the inverse head and shoulders on the weekly does not play out. You want to see an inverse head and shoulders coming up, breaking down to the 50, finding support like this, and having room to grow, not room to bleed. Do you understand? So that theory of the inverse head and shoulders does not hold true in my mind. Meaning I don't think we stop at the 60 to the 60,000. I think potentially we could continue in this market structure trend here of this. It looks better at like the 2-day or the 1-day. Okay, there you go. So we went from the purple to the blue, to 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 the purple to the blue, and now we're here, right? This is simple stuff. I could teach this to my 7-year-old. Where do you think we're going to go next, little Joey? Right? Where do you think? So that's my point. Now we're here. We have a monthly technical analysis structure being bearish. We're on the cusp of it showing major blood. Showing something like this, right? This would be a 20% dip. Now, once again, I said this market structure also isn't the best as well because we are making lower highs and lower lows, right? So this technically, what do I see? I'm going to say 2-3 levels on the way down. If you remember from a year or two ago when I said 17.5, 15.5, 13.5, it's because I know where it's going to go. I just don't know exactly where it's going to go. I know it's going to go do something like this. I just don't know if it stops here, if it stops here, or if it stops down here. You know what I'm saying? But if I could tell someone who knows nothing about technical analysis or crypto that wants to get into crypto and just be like, hey Joe, I got a little bit of money, what should I do? I'd be like, all right, hold some for like 58, hold some for like 56, and then hold some for like 53. And if 1, 2, or 3 of those target prices hit, I look like a genius. Why? Because I know we have room to go from here back to here and at least form a lower high, right, to the 68 to the 70,000, the same way we formed a lower high to the 70,000 to the 71, the same way we formed a lower high to the 72 to the 74,000, right? And at that point, I could tell that person, well, you're up 20%. What do you want to do? You want to take a little bit off the top? You know what I'm saying? God forbid it comes back down. You can put back money back in. Most people that I speak to don't know how to open a short on Bitcoin, right? It's literally happening right now, right in front of my eyes, right? We're breaking into section B. Nothing positive has happened. We've death crossed. We're looking at the 2-day. 2-day is now breaking into section B. It's happening. We're having a death cross. We're right at literally the 250 line, 50 line. We're going to break back into section B. Once that happened, well, look, we had a huge red candle, dead cat bounce, and another red candle back down to the level of the 34. So I'm going to stop here because I want to actually upload this so you guys can see it, potentially make some money. Not financial advice, but short, once again, anything that allows you to have a liquidation price above 67.5, right? Because if it does come back up, then at least you're protecting yourself with like a stop loss right there. I could see it doing this, stopping here at this level here, the 59.8, 60,005, 61,000, something like that, right? Coming back up using the bottom of these candles, 63.7, 64.4, 64.6, right? Use that range as resistance. And then having another bloodbath back down to, here are my 3 levels, okay? 58.2, 56, 55.5. So you're getting it at 7%, 10%, 13%, and you catch the wave down. What I would do is 30, 30, 30, right? So 30%, if you have $1,000, not financial advice, $300, $300, $300, and then keep $100 just in case it makes the lower low past the 53.6 and it touches the 52.5. And then you look like a genius, cuzzy. So with that being said, nothing positive usually comes from an altcoin. So I'm going to end the video also. So I write these things down because I do this live, bro. Like there's no coordinator here telling me what to do. There's no script. So this is your continuation to the downside pattern on a shorter time frame, on a 4 hours. This is what I'm expecting on a macro level, meaning the daily. So you can see here we broke down and we're using what was support, this white line and the blue line, as resistance. So that's how you know this is your continuation confirmation to the downside. So once again, nothing bullish comes from Bitcoin crashing down. XRP, first things first. I wanted to show you. Okay, yes. I'm just going to do a live. Forget the notes. So here we go. The 4 hours was making a symmetrical triangle. The symmetrical triangle broke out. We had the measured move to 65 cents. Not financial advice, but I was recommending to people to buy XRP, if you remember, around like 42 cents. So it had a great run, right? It had a great run. It had 23 days, 50 something, 60 something percent. Now, once again, F the news, trust the charts. You zoom out to a weekly chart, and I get rid of the little short-term lines, and you just look long-term. And you could see XRP has a very hard time recently. I mean, not recently, but October all the way, October 23, even August 23, breaking 65 cents. So that's how I come up with these levels, and that's how I call things, because I look at longer time frames. I look left, and I want to see where there was major selling pressure previously. And I said, well, we fell down. We obviously wanted to buy it like that 42, but the confirmation was the 47. And you could ride that thing all the way from 47 to 62 and you look like a genius. You didn't need to buy at 39. You didn't need to sell at 65. You could have caught any of this with a small margin, put your stop loss, and you could have made a ton of money. So, selling pressure at selling pressure. I mean, that's simple stuff, right? The measured move made its move, and now unfortunately you're back into the trend. You're back into the trend. You're going to use previous resistance, previous support as support, and you can see we broke the symmetrical triangle support. So now what I'm going to do is once again go back to that weekly chart, get rid of the BS short-term stuff. I want to see where there was major support on a weekly time frame, right? Where it really matters. Now, once again, everything will happen in waves, but if I could figure out where the next swing low is, I could figure out where I should be putting those 2-3 target levels for you guys, right? Once again, simple. 48 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like it's clear as day. This is from August 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This would be the 10th touch point. I'm going to keep it very simple, the same way I kept it simple with the XRP Bitcoin price. We could potentially come back down, form a higher low to this one, and that would be bullish still on the macro, right? Because technically we have been making lower lows. We went from 56 cents to 50 cents to 48 cents to 42 cents to 38 cents. We have broken the most recent high of 56 cents. So now we want to see the macro change to the bullish side. We want to see a higher low so then I can then draw a trend line. I can't draw a trend line right now because that low hasn't happened, right? I need to wait for that to happen. So we're going to be looking at some key levels of where we could find support on the way up. And why am I thinking bullish instead of bearish? Because the long-term trend on the XRP versus the Bitcoin chart remains bullish. You understand? Has room to grow on the 2-week. The 3-week looks like it's about the golden cross. So I am thinking more bullish structure patterns on this because during this price action, the XRP chart versus Bitcoin was going down. Now that it bottomed and it's doing this, I'm expecting blood 100%, but I'm not expecting 37 cents to 41 cents. I'm expecting potentially, let's just say 53 cents to 50 cents. And then at that point, I have the ability to do something like this, right? And then I could do something like, let's just say this. And then XRP does something like this, back down to this level right here, 50 cents, where you saw major support in the past. And then we have the opportunity, because it made a higher low and because the XRP versus Bitcoin chart still remains bullish, we have the opportunity to assume it could come back up and retest to 63 cents or potentially break that and then go to your next levels of the 68 cents to potentially the 73 cents. So once again, when the long-term trend is bullish and you have a pullback, you want to identify key levels that you could actually dollar cost average or start opening up your longs and understand that you have an uptrend on the horizon, not a downtrend on the horizon. You understand? That's the video. Love you guys. 20 minutes. That's all you get. I haven't done this in a while, but I appreciate the support. I really do. I see all the comments. I try and respond to all of them. If anyone has any requests, just one, do me a favor, just one coin, a stock, commodity, I don't care, it's all the same stuff. List it in the comments section, and the next video I'll spend like an hour doing everything for you guys. Besides that, love you, appreciate the support, enjoy the day, enjoy the summer, and if you know anyone that needs help learning technical analysis or actually just learning what to do with their money and how to properly look at a chart and understand it, show them this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Besides that, like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy.